Tragedy on the Northway. We'll tell you what we know about the victims in a car crash and the driver who police say caused it. Good evening, I'm Craig Smith. A car crash on the Northway killed 2 high school students and left 2 other students with serious injuries last night. It happened about a mile north of the Kosciuszko Bridge, the Twin Bridges, around 20 past 10 last night. The 2 who died were seniors at Shenendehowa High School. Matt MARKHAM has been reporting on this all day. He has more on the students and the driver who police say hit them from behind. Matt?
Well, good evening, Craig. Strong-willed, athletic, ambitious. They're just some of the words used to describe the 17-year-old involved in this crash, the 17-year-olds, I should say. Coming home last night from a CNU Albany basketball game. Words, though, hard to come by to express the grief felt by students and their families and to try to make sense of what happened.
They did the right things, and certainly the message that we will be sending to all our kids is that continue to do the right things for their sake.
The message as Shenendehowa students come to mourn the loss of their own, lost in the wreckage of this Ford Explorer on the Northway Saturday night. Stewart and Deanna Rivers will not finish their senior year. Their families will not see them graduate. Their friends will not be there with them. Football players remember Chris.
I knew him really well, and he really brought the joy up on the football team. He was a fun guy, you know, even when practice was down, he could make practice into like a really fun day.
Deanna was a softball star. She was ejected from the vehicle.
The depth of this and how much this will have an effect on our community will be long lasting. These were very popular kids. These were very popular student athletes.
Shen Jr. Matthew Hardy and Shaker student Bailey Wind are recovering from broken bones and fractures. State Police say all 4 were traveling together when 22-year-old Dennis Drue came up along the highway and struck the kid's car, causing it to roll over. Investigators say Drue was speeding and tested positive for alcohol. We're told he had a history of driving violations. Stewart was driving his friends home from a Siena game.
There were no culpable acts on the part of Christopher Stewart in the operation of his vehicle.
These are images a student body will never forget.
Would you say that football players are almost like brothers?
We're all brothers. This loss is the loss of a family member, and it's traumatic. It's not just going to affect me and my brother. It's going to affect this whole community.
Well, Mr. Drue would be arraigned in HALFMOON Town Court when he gets out of the hospital. After toxicology reports are complete, it is expected he will be charged with second-degree vehicular manslaughter and possibly DWI, along with other charges for speeding. Drue suffered a few head lacerations. I'm Matt Markham in the newsroom. Craig.
Thank you, Matt. Just such a shame. I know Doug Sherman just reported on Wednesday that Bailey Wind had won a diving scholarship to go to Tennessee. That's why you saw those pictures of her in that story. And we certainly wish her and her family well, and young Mr. Hardy as well. We hope they both get well as quickly as possible.